Hey everybody. So, as scientists have studied evolution and observed species changing over time, which they can do using fossils, or they can actually observe evolution happening, because sometimes it happens as fast as just a few years, so scientists can actually observe it and do experiments. They've discovered that it can work in two ways. It can either make species look more similar to each other, or look more different to each other. So evolution can make species more similar or more different. And that is the big idea for this video. And scientists have given names to these two different types of evolution. So if species start with a common ancestor and then they evolve to become more different, this is called divergent evolution. Which makes sense because the word diverge or divergence means to move away. Oops. So in divergent evolution, species evolve to become less alike or more different. And that means convergent evolution is the opposite. So to converge, if you think about the word, converge means to come together or to meet at a similar place. So in convergent evolution, species that don't start off being related, they evolve to look much more similar and function in a similar way. But it doesn't mean that they're actually closely related. So unrelated species evolve to become more similar. All right, let's look at some examples. So firstly, we've got some divergent evolution here with these horse species. So originally, these two horse species, their ancestor was the same. It was this ancient horse here, which actually is still alive today. And then through natural selection, these different populations of this species, they evolved in a divergent way to become less alike, so much so that they're now two different species. And you can see here one of those species is the zebra, which evolved in Africa, and then there's the modern horse, which we've then bred and domesticated as humans. So this is divergent evolution because we started off with one single species, and then that's diverged to become two different species that are less alike than they used to be. Here's a convergent evolution example. So that was divergent. Convergent evolution. So this means unrelated species are evolving to become more similar. So millions of years ago, the ancestor of seals was actually a carnivorous mammal that walked on the land, and it looked a bit like this one here. So it was a carnivore, it had teeth, looked a bit like a tiger. And then a group of that species started to live more in the ocean, and over millions of years, they've evolved into seals, who have this typical rounded body shape. Their legs have evolved into flippers, their front paws into fins, and their back legs into flippers. And they've lost most of their hair so that they can swim through the water much more efficiently. Well, a similar thing happened, but with this herbivorous mammal here. So this mammal millions of years ago looked a bit like, a cross between a rabbit and a mouse. It ran around and ate fruits and seeds. And a group of that mammal eventually started to live more in the ocean, and it evolved into dolphins. So you can see how similar dolphins and seals actually look. They've both got that cylindrical body shape. They've got fins instead of arms and legs. And they're a light grey colour as well to help them blend in with the ocean colour. So these two species that weren't related originally, they've converged to look a lot more similar. But it doesn't mean they're closely related. So we're always on the lookout for, are two species alike because they are related, because of divergent evolution, or do they just look alike because of convergent evolution? So we always need to be on the lookout and be aware which case of evolution it is. Alright, so that's convergent evolution and divergent evolution.